Hey guys, RC here. We're back with episode 7 of our Let's Play Fast Break College Basketball. We are Houston Baptist. We are getting ready to tip off our second season. Hopefully we will do better than a 10 and 20 mark that we did last year. We have the number 329 RPI. We're riding a 2-game losing streak carrying back to last season. We have 15 players on the roster. One of our players was academically suspended, one of our incoming freshmen. And our starting five is three of our four freshmen, a freshman walk-on who's better than anybody else, and a senior, no, he's a scholarship player. Actually 9.8 points and 6.8 boards. He might be one of our leading scorers this year, but I like what I see in Barrios and Deal. I hope that they step it up. Just taking a look at our game plan again, we're going to be inside. We're going to be having a slow pace, walk it up the court, be deliberate on the offensive half court, and we're going to have a high motion, which means they are going to play a more structured game, which means they're going to look for better shots. That's from the pace, but they will play a more structured game, which is actually better for less talented scorers, according to what I have been told and what the guide tells us. So that's what we're dealing with. Let's go ahead and get into the season here. You remember we're not playing a preseason tournament. We're just not good enough. And we have several home games this month. So let's see how this plan works. Well, Andre Hunt got hurt in the first game. That's our walk-on point guard, and a groin pull. He's going to be out for about 7 days. The good news is we got the win, 62 to 53. If we take a look here, we had a 32-26 lead at the half. You can see we took quite a few less shots, 46 to 39. But we actually shot 51%, which is kind of what I was hoping to see with that low pace, high motion, being a lot more deliberate, looking for a good shot. Also, with the inside presence, it looks like we were able to draw the fouls, 26 team fouls, and we went 22 of 31 from the charity stripe. And that certainly helped us get this 9-point win. Jonathan Parker, the senior, went 4 of 6 and 7 of 8 shooting, 15 points, 11 rebounds. So, for a red player, he had a really good game for us. Barrios, working that inside like I was talking about, he was only 3 of 8 shooting, but he did get to the line 10 times. Pulled down 6 boards as well. Remember, he had a pretty good rebounding ability, and he hit 8 of 10 of his foul shots to finish with 14. Hunt was not a bad shooter, 12 points for him. Now, he only had 1 assist. Deal actually led the team with 5 assists, but did not shoot anywhere near as much as the other guys. Griffey played 28 minutes. You can see a lot of the other starters were in the mid 30s. So, he was about 6 or 7 minutes less. And if you look down, Maiden, as we figured, got the bulk of that playing time. Now, he only got 4 points in 16 minutes. Not a good shooter. 2 rebounds and 1 personal foul. So, he's not going to be a really good backup for us, but that is what it is. But I am encouraged by what I saw here. So let's get up to the next game. Let's see how Hunt's doing when we get there. So he's at 92%. We're going to go ahead and check the depth chart. It's going to put Dahl in. So let's take a look at Dahl real quick. Now remember, they were pretty even. Dahl's shorter though, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue. A little bit better able to get his shot off, a little bit better shooter, quite a bit better at the foul line. Slightly better hands, just a little bit worse on the distribution, a good bit quicker, a lot more stamina, a little less jumping ability. Okay, now defensively, uh, actually was a little bit better defender. So I don't think this is going to hurt us very much. I don't think it's going to affect my game plan any. So we're going to leave that alone. And we're going to go ahead and sim that day. And we take the loss only by 2. I mean, a loss is a loss, right? But only by 2 points. So let's kind of evaluate. 44-41 halftime. We blew the lead. We actually had more shots, so they played a very slow down attack, it looks like. We outshot them, and there's the difference. We shot 64% at the line, they shot 83, and they drew 36 foul attempts. We had 29 team fouls. So that spelled the difference in the game. Griffey fouled out after 16 minutes. Actually, Griffey, Parker, and Barrios all fouled out. Parker was late in the game. Barrios was pretty early for him. I mean, I think last game he was around 34 minutes, so we lost about 7 minutes for him. So a lot of foul outs, which certainly put us into players that shouldn't be playing as much. Midden, you can see, went from 16 to 25 minutes on this night. He did get 11 rebounds, but only 5 points. Parker, 13 points, 7 boards, 11 points for Barrios. Deal had 9. You can see his shots were up probably after everybody else fouled out. Dahl, 12 points, 4 personal fouls, only 1 assist, 3 assists for our backup center. So, unfortunately, sometimes with the fouls, there's just nothing you can do to overcome that. All right, we're going to sim up to this game. Hunt should get back to full strength. There's our email telling us that he is right there. So let's go ahead and pop back up into the depth chart. It does set those guys back. And I want to still give this a little bit of time. You know what? We've played 2 games. This is going to be a road game. Let's slow this down a little bit more. Let's get a little more, even more pace. A slower pace. Let's get more deliberate and see what that does. All right, well, that wasn't good. We actually lost pretty badly. Yeah, we were down 7 at the half. We ended up losing by 14. We only shot 40%. Now, a lot of that could just be their defense was better than us. I mean, we had 21 fouls, 14 turnovers. They had 6 steals, so that didn't help us any. And they out-rebounded us a little bit. Now, they were only 8 of 19. We were 12 of 16 foul shots. So it just basically came down to poor shooting and turning the ball over. We had 14 turnovers. That hurts. Griffey, 8 points. Nobody fouled out. We had a couple of guys in foul trouble. Parker, again, 16 points, 12 boards, 4 personal fouls. Shot well. I mean, he was more than consistent. Barrios, 1 for 5. Ended up with just 2 points. Deal again led the team in assist from the 2 guard. And then you can see Griffey played 22 minutes and the backup center played 22 minutes as well. So really splitting that time. Even our 3rd string center got 4 minutes. All right, so it is what it is there. I'm going to go ahead and set. I want to give them a little freedom if they see a good shot to take it. I'm going to dial that back a little bit to 7, so give them, and see what that does. All right, now we took the loss, but again, only by 4. Okay, well, I mean, moral victories, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. 1 point difference at the half. 42%. So we're just not shooting the ball well. 6 of 11. They were 16 of 18. That 10-point swing right there is pretty much the difference. But we were pretty even on fouls. I guess they got 18 to our 11 on attempts. Theirs were probably shooting fouls. Ours were not. Ours were just driving the lane or whatever. We rebounded well. We assisted well. We had more steals this game. So yeah, there's really nothing bad about the way we played. Parker, you can see, had a bad game. Only 3 of 10, 8 points, 9 boards. Deal actually shot the ball more, 7 of 10. So we saw a little more action from him. Barrios at the small forward, 4 of 10 for 10 points. Again, we just still have a really weak roster. And pretty much anybody we play, we're going to be outclassed by. That's just the way it is. All right, let's finish the month, see what happens in recruiting. All right, nobody signed. All right. Let's go to the call list. Actually, let's look at our committed list. All right, so Lemons has committed. That's fine. Call list. Everybody's average, so this is probably going to hurt us a little bit. Let's see. We had an offer to him, but you can see 5 players, 5 teams jumped on him, and we got blown out of the water. So we're off of him. All right, now we've evaluated him. He's a red, but he is a 2-star. Cannot get his own shot off, but he can shoot with some help. So we have a pretty decent distributor. He can take foul shots average. He can pass. Defensive rebounds, post defender, steals. There's worse guys. I mean, he's not going to be much worse than the guys that we have. Humble High School is actually not too far from me. And Doug Smith. I like him. Nobody's on him. Still nobody's on him. We passed on him last time. Hands passing. You know what? What the heck? Let's take a flyer on him. And then let's put some points there and hope for the best. That's the guy that we blew off, and we've got $200 left, which is not enough to do anything, or else this would be unchecked. And we've got basically a 2-week break to our next game, so we'll quick sim up to that point. And see what happens. Now, the academic suspension, the break on that is January 1st. So at the end of this month, we'll get Hauser back. Of course, you can have guys that get suspended for the latter half of the season as well. And he could still be suspended, so we'll see. All right, UAB, a lot of road games this month. We didn't have anything that's really changed, so we're going to go ahead and play. 66-46. So they 7-2. This was the game that was we got after the first scheduling sim. They had a much higher prestige than us, and so we expected to lose this one. This was, it was just going to be that way. 10 rebounds for Parker. Nobody shot the ball well, just 36%. We actually held them to 44%. They doubled us up on free throw attempts. They just crushed us on the glass, so that didn't give us any opportunity. That was what they call a paycheck game. We just needed the kick to our budget to get our ass kicked. All right, Bryant. We're going to just keep playing. We're going to play out with what we got. 52-51. So, one thing I'm immediately noticing, we're a lot more competitive, even against, the guys in the 20, 30 prestige range, we're more competitive than we were last year. Um, Even at half, they outshot us by 17 attempts, but we hit the same number of baskets. So defense was there. Our shooting still was not good, only 37%. We were pretty even with them on foul shots. They doubled us up on rebounding. We had 5 blocks to 0, 4 steals to 3. I guess I should look at that and go, wow, how did we not lose by 31, not just one? Um, that I guess that's another one of those moral victories. 1-5 on the season, only a 6-point differential. So, what I'm hoping here is we're seeing a positive trend that will carry over into conference play, and we will actually be able to garner some additional wins there. All right, so we pull a win here, 56 to 47. We were down 1 at the break. We had about the same number of shots, made about the same number. We got 11 more foul attempts on roughly the same number of fouls. We did force 17 turnovers. Pretty even on everything else. So this was an evenly played game. They shot, we just shot just a touch better. That's the manual for the other basketball game that I'm doing some stuff on. So yeah, I mean, hey, I'm going to be very happy with a 9-point win here. Only Griffey, 10.6 boards, only 1 foul. That's strong, and he played 28 minutes. Parker, 7 points, 5 boards. Barrios, 3 of 10. Let's see, we had Treadwell with 7 off the bench, Maiden with 6. So nobody was in double digits really, but we had a lot of guys that were pretty close. So that's balanced attack. I guess that's a positive thing. You would like to have some depth to carry you when you're starting 5. Do not. All right, we're back at home, Maryland Eastern Shore. Another win. Hey, 66 to 57. Awesome. Down 3 at the break. Pretty even shooting. Pretty even on the attempts. 13 more free throw attempts thanks to 25 to 18 on the team fouls. Assists were pretty even. They got some extra steals on us. We got some extra blocks on them, and we actually had less turnovers. So nothing wrong there. 3 guys in double digits, but again, I think you have to be pretty excited. 9 points, 8 points, 6 points, 7 points, 3 of 4 shooting, 4 of 5 from the foul line. Barrios fouled out with 10 points, but he was perfect. 3 of 3 and 4 for 4 at the line. I'll take 48% shooting when instead of 33% shooting. So that gets us 2-2 at home. We're 3-5 overall. I mean, I don't think we have much to complain about whatsoever. Seattle, okay, a 15-point loss. I think they're a good bit higher than us in prestige. Pretty similar shooting. They just had 15 more attempts, and shooting the same percentage basically gave them 7 more baskets. So that's 14 points right there, and they won by 15. Dead even basically in free throws. 10 more rebounds, which cut our second chance points. More assists, more steals, more blocks. We had double the turnovers basically, and more team fouls. So, we just got outplayed. 10 points for Deal, 5 of 9. And again, you see the drop off. Still two guys with 8, but now we're down 6, 5, 5 instead of 9, 9, 8, 7. Now we've got guys in the 6 and 5 range, which that's a difference in a win and a loss to a team at our level. And of course, we're a 5 prestige team. We're not going to be a team that goes 20 and 10, 25 and 5. That's just not what teams at this level do. I mean, we are literally in the bottom 10 programs out of 300 and some odd programs in the country. That's the reality. 2-point win over Howard, so we'll take that. Down 1 at the break, 6 less shots. We shot just a touch better, and then of course we only committed 18 fouls, and they hit 83%, but we had 14 more shots, and that gave us the difference to be able to sneak out the win. They dominated us on the glass. We had quite a few more steals and a lot less turnovers and less team fouls, so that spells the win. Griffey, 15 points, 5 boards, 7 of 9 shooting. 10 points for Barrios for 3 of 4 shooting. Parker, 4 of 10 with 9 points, 8 boards. Again, not a great shooter. Barrios and Deal are the ones that we want to shoot more. So I tell you what we're going to do. I want to try something here. All right, let's go up to our strategy. All right, let's do more balance. We can do inside and outside. I still want to keep my interior guys, Parker and Griffey, dialed in. I want to give Barrios a few more shots, so I'm going to make him one of the focal points of the offense. Okay? And I want to be balanced because I want him shooting from the outside because he's a better jump shooter. He doesn't have an inside game. He can still get his shot off a little bit, which is what that inside also does, but I want to see if we can get him shooting the ball a little bit more. So some of this is me kind of playing around with a few things, trying to learn a new trick or two. All right, we got the win, 50-37. Barrios goes down for 2 weeks, though. What does he have? He got hurt with a sprained wrist. All right, that's kind of demoralizing, but let's take a look at what we did. So, we didn't score a lot, but we were up by 9 at the half. Pretty even on shots. We shot 55%, which is huge. And neither team had a lot of foul shots. So the fact that we weren't driving inside every possession certainly cuts back on the team fouls that we're picking up. But it also opens up some more shooting. Now let's see what that did. 5 of 11, 11 points. So he's now the leading attempter on the team from making that change instead of Parker, okay, by adding him as a focal point. Okay, now still 7 points, 7 boards, 3 of 4 shooting, so he's still making the most of his opportunities, but we're not putting the weight on him. 6 of 10, because by shooting farther outside, he's probably not getting doubled quite as much, and it gives him more open looks. Maybe. That's just a thought. All right, so now I want to try something else a little bit. We've got one game there. Well, let's do another game. Let's kind of get a sample to look at. All right, we picked up Rodriguez from Humble, Texas, where I live. So right down the road, we picked up him. We got declined by Doug Smith. He went to New Mexico State. And Hauser's back from his suspension. He's also unhappy because he hasn't played enough. Well, keep in mind, it was his own fault. All right, so first off, Barrios is hurt. We've got to substitute him out. And Hauser, we want to get into the mix. Okay, so Hauser's got more length. Parker's going to slide down to probably a more natural spot for him at 6'6" at the 3. Okay. And that's going to get Hauser involved. Now, that gives us a little bit better shooter on the outside. He won't have to be in, but I still want him inside a lot. Now, Hauser, not a very good shooter. He can hit free throws. He's going to be better than Parker on the offensive glass, so that's an upgrade. He's got decent stamina. He's a better post defender. So in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him up. I'm going to make him my center and let him defend the post. And then defensive rebounds, they're both the same. We keep Parker on the court. And you know what? Maybe we'll have Barrios come off the bench and be a 6-man. That might be good to do. It might be good to keep Griffey or Hauser on the bench and have them come in, to spell, especially with Griffey not having the stamina to stay out there quite as much. And that would be an upgrade over Maiden. So that may give us a better mix too. So a lot of things we got to consider. But while Barrios is out, I think this is going to be our best roster. Now, I still want to go inside. So let's redo this. Recommend. All right, they want to go back inside. I still want to dial this back. So let's go down to a 4. Still want to, let's go higher here. Not quite as high. They're switching us up to a different zone. We're not doubling quite as much. We're doubling more outside. And we're actually going to run a little bit of a trap every once in a while. Not heavy, but evidently we have some better defenders on the court. So we can run a trap and maybe pressure some more turnovers. Okay. So, oh shoot. I just screwed that up. I hit it again. All right, pace I definitely don't want. That I want. And Barrios is out, so I can't do him. Do I want Deal? Yeah, I still think I want Deal looking for the ball. They're actually going to feed Griffey. And what about Hauser? No, I don't want him being fed the ball. All right, so we'll call that a month. We'll come back in the next episode and see how some of these changes and how our injury affects us. We've only got 2 games over the next 10 days, so we won't be without Barrios for very long. All right, well, hey, thanks for checking it out. I'm pretty optimistic with how the team's playing. We've gotten a couple of big wins. Oh, in fact, did we even look at the... Yeah, we looked at that game. Okay, just wanted to make sure before we called it an episode. So thanks for checking it out. We'll see you next time. Take care.